אוקיי, רבותיי, פרשת ויקהל, ספר שמות, פרשת ויקהל, בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח. The parsha start like this, ויקהל משה את כל עדת בני ישראל, ויאמר עליהם, אלה הדברים אשר ציווה אדוני לעשות אותם.
Moses assembled the entire assembly of the children of Israel and said to them, These are the things that Hashem commanded to do them.
Okay, we all know that Parashat Vayakhel, Moshe Rabbeinu gathered the entire Bnei Israel, the entire Jewish people, immediately after Yom Kippur. Where is the proof for it? How do we know that it was straight after Yom Kippur? We know that after the Jewish people sinned in Het HaEgel, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to wipe the entire Jewish nation. And what's happened? Moshe broke the Luchot. After that, Moshe gone up to heaven for 40 days and 40 nights. And he prayed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to forgive the Jewish people. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Salachti kidvarecha. The question is that we have to ask ourselves, why did Moshe have to gather the Jewish people? So today, we're going to bring two opinions. The first opinion that we're going to bring, it's going to be the opinion of the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. Or HaChaim HaKadosh, Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, and he wrote a beautiful commentary on the Torah, and he said that the main reason that Moshe Rabbeinu have to gather the entire Jewish people, it's very simple. To understand that, you have to go to the end of Parashat Ki Tisa. In the end of Parashat Ki Tisa, the Torah tells us something very interesting, that in chapter 34, verse 30, the Torah tells us something very interesting. I'm going to read it in Hebrew and then we're going to explain. וראה משה את כל בני ישראל, את משה, והנה קרן אור פניו, ויראו מגשת אליו. Chapter 34, verse 30, we're going backwards to Parashat Ki Tisa. Now we can understand, after we read that, why he have to gather the entire assembly of the Jewish people. Chapter 34, verse 30.
Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, and behold, the skin of his face had become radiant, and they feared to approach him.
Okay. What does that have to do? Moshe Rabbeinu saw that when he came down from heaven, that his face became radiant. That means people couldn't look at him. And not only that they couldn't look at him, they were so fearful to come near him, that they were so frightened, Moshe Rabbeinu felt that he had to gather the Jewish people. Not only that, our sages say that the Luchot HaBrit that he was holding from the holiness that they have on him, that's what caused Moshe Rabbeinu's face to become radiant. So the Jewish people were so frightened, so scared to look at Moshe, to speak to him. Moshe understand that he have to gather the entire Jewish assembly to come together, to speak to them, to show them that he's still there as one of the Jewish leader. Other opinions say that Moshe Rabbeinu gathered the entire Jewish assembly, and the main reason for it, the Mefarshim say that when he came down from Har Sinai, it was Yom Kippur. That means Erev Kippur, Motzei Yom Kippur, that means the end of Yom Kippur. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, V'salachti kidvarecha. That means, I've forgiven the Jewish people because you prayed for them. So the Mefarshim says, so what? What does that have to do? He says it's come to teach us Derech Eretz. The Torah come to teach us here Derech Eretz. What the Torah come to teach us? Usually when is people doing? Asking their fellow friend for forgiveness, trying to do repentance. When is that? Between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's come to tell you, no. The Torah come to tell you, not only that, because when Moshe Rabbeinu came down, he saw the entire Jewish assembly all together, sitting together in peace and harmony, making peace between them. Why? Because they all ask sorry one each other. Torah come to teach us, ויקהל משה את כל עדת בני ישראל, When is he gathered them? And Motzei Yom Kippur. You have to understand that all the time the Jewish people have to live in peace and harmony, not only in a time of Yom Kippur. So now we see two opinions why Dafka it was Erev Yom Kippur. We go to verse 2, the same chapter, chapter 35, verse 2. ששת ימים תעשה מלאכה וביום השביעי יהיה לכם קודש, שבת שבתון לאדוני, כל העושה בו מלאכה יומת.
On 6 days work may be done, but the 7th day shall be holy for you, a day of complete rest for Hashem. Whoever does work on it shall be put to death.
Okay, here the Torah tell us, ששת ימים תעשה מלאכה. What it mean תעשה? It should say תעשה מלאכה. Why תעשה? It's a different. תעשה mean that the work will be done by others. תעשה, you should do. Our sages explain that in different verses. And today I'm going to bring opinion of Or HaChaim HaKadosh. Or HaChaim HaKadosh, Rabbi Chaim Ben Attar again, explained that differently. He took the word te'aseh, what it means te'aseh, that the work should be done by someone else. How can the work will be done by someone else? So Rabbi Chaim Ben Attar explained something very interesting. He said a person work hard all week, and he think in his mind, he have this idea that he created, he run around, he bring the business, he do. Rabbi Chaim Ben Attar come and tell us, he have a surprise for us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to us like this, ששת ימים תעשה מלאכה, what it mean תעשה? That if you keep the Shabbos, if you keep your Shabbos properly, you look after Shabbos, you enjoy your Shabbos properly, he promised you that the 6 working days, those sheshet yamim, those 6 days, that the work that you want to do will be done, will help from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Many people come, usually, come quick, daven quick, run away. They think if they leave early, the work will be done. The Torah come and tell us a new thing. Sheshet yamim te'aseh melacha, that all your success, or those 6 days of working, when it depends on the Shabbos. If you keep your Shabbos, if you celebrate your Shabbos like you should, with honor, with pleasure, with enjoyment, and studying Torah, and keep the Shabbos like a Jewish person, we have a guarantee, we have a promise from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that the 6 days, the business will run by himself with help from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Who doesn't want that? Let's ask ourselves. How many of us running to a meeting and those meetings sometimes been postponed? I don't want to say never was successful, Haz v'Shalom. So here the Torah come and give us a remedy. Celebrate Mas Shabbos like properly, keep it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu guarantee us, according to Rabbi Chaim Ben Attar or HaChaim HaKadosh, that everything will go smoothly. But it says something else in that pasuk that we have to understand. It says Shabbat Shabbaton. Shabbat is big, Shabbaton is smaller. In Hebrew, when you say Shabbat, it's referring to something bigger. Shabbaton is smaller. Like you say Yeled, Yeldon, a boy, a little boy. What is the Torah come to tell us that on the same verse? It says like this. I'm going to bring the opinion of the Raza. Who was the Raza? Raza was Rabbi Zrahia Levi. He born in Gorondia. Gorondia, it's referring to Spain. He born in Spain around 900 years ago, plus minus. Don't hold me to it, Rabotai. And he said that from that it says Shabbat Shabbaton, it's the Torah come to teach us something very interesting. Shabbat, it's the main Shabbat. Shabbaton, it's a little Shabbat. What it mean a little Shabbat? Rabbi Zrahia Levi explained that very interesting. Listen how he explained it. He said when it says Shabbat, that's Shabbat in Eretz Israel. But in many places in the world, when it's Shabbat in Eretz Israel, in other countries, for example in America, here in South Africa it's plus minus the same time, depends on winter and summer, a few hours different. But in America, while it's still Shabbat, for them it's still not even, Shabbat didn't even enter yet. And when it's Motzei Shabbat in Israel, Shabbat is finished, for them it's still Shabbat. So it's come to tell us that Shabbat Shabbaton, Shabbatot Dechul. What does it mean Shabbatot Dechul? That you have to look at it in a very interesting way. Shabbat Shabbaton, meaning that it's come to teach us when it's Shabbat in Eretz Israel, maybe in other countries it's not Shabbat. So those people are not obligated to keep. But when it's Shabbaton for them, when it's Shabbos for other people in a galut, in different countries, and for you it's already Shabbos, it's Motzei Shabbat, it's after Shabbos, Shabbos is finished, you're not allowed to pick up the phone and to phone those people that they have Shabbos. Why? Because for them it's still Shabbos. And the Torah come to teach us here something very interesting, that we must celebrate Shabbos according to each country, according to the time zone, according to the appropriate day, not according to what is in Eretz Israel. Yes, Eretz Israel it's Eretz HaKodesh, Shabbat, it means that's the main day, but Shabbaton referring to the other countries when Shabbat falls. Later on in the Parsha, in chapter 3, in the same verse 35, chapter 35, verse 3, the Torah tells us something very interesting. לא תבערו אש בכל מושבותיכם ביום השבת.
You shall not kindle fire in any of your dwellings on the Shabbat day.
Okay. רבי משה אלשיך הקדוש. We explained many times who he was. I'm not going to go again through his history, but Rabbi Moshe Alshech tells us something very interesting. And he said like this, what it means, lo tevaru, you should not light a fire in any way, moshvotechem. How do you say in English, moshvotechem?
Kindle or make.
Kindle. Lo tevaru esh bechol moshvotechem. Kindle. You should not light a fire.
You should not kindle a fire in any of your dwellings.
In any of your dwellings. You should not light a fire in any of your dwelling. That's the right place to say. Any of your dwelling, any houses, any place that you live, or any place that you are. We're going to go to it now. So Rabbi Moshe Al-Sheikh says something very interesting. He said that you can't compare Has v'Shalom when a person do Avera during the week or when he do it on Shabbat. And he said why? Why is it? The Torah come and warn us not to do Averot at all, but especially on Shabbos. Because we know, or Rabbi Moshe Al-Sheikh say, that a person that do Avera on Shabbat, that means that he didn't keep Shabbat, Has v'Shalom. That means that the Gehenom will be working for him again on Shabbos. And we know, our sages tell us, that Gehenom on Shabbos doesn't work. But for who? For those people that didn't sin, for didn't keep Shabbos. So it's come to tell you, when you're sinning on Shabbat, you're causing the Gehenam to work extra day, on the seventh day. Be careful. It says, Lo teva'aru esh. Why don't light a fire in all your dwelling? The esh, what is it referring? He say that's referring to Gehenam. Esh al Gehenam. Other opinion that bring the Shalah and the Akedah, the Shalah and the Akedah say completely something else. He say, what is it talking about? Lo teva'aru esh b'yom Lo tevaru esh bechol moshvotechem. It's referring to Shabbat, obviously. It says when it's come to Shabbos, usually what Jewish people do? Go to shul. Go to shul, pray, to daven. It says, but after you finish to daven, when you have your brocha, when you meet your friend, don't cause fire. What does it mean? Don't cause mahloket. That means don't cause a faribel. Don't cause a dispute. Don't cause a fire on Shabbat. Why? Because that's the day that everyone get together and they start speaking. During the week, people are busy. They come to shul, immediately they run, they finish to daven, running to work. In the evening they come, they daven mincha, ma'ariv, they don't have a lot of time, listen to a show, and immediately run back home to see the family, to have a supper, to join the family. It's come to tell you, dafka on Shabbos, that you have time, Shabbat menuhat, that's the day to rest. Don't cause on Shabbat the mahloket. Don't cause the fire. Don't cause anything that can cause Has v'Shalom mahloket. That means that on Shabbat, it's the easy day to cause a faribel, to cause the dispute between people. So on Shabbat, be very careful. That's what the Torah come and teach us. From here we see that the way that our sages, the Mefarshim, explain that on a way that we should be very careful on Yom HaShabbat. Come to teach us, watch your tongue, dafka on Shabbat. And Yetzer Hara can easily mislead you to cause fire on Shabbat. We're going to skip quite a bit. We're going to move to verse 22, chapter 35, verse 2. It says something very interesting. ויבואו אנשים על אנשים, כל נדיב לב, הביאו חך ונזם וטבעת וקומץ, כל כלי זהב, וכל איש אשר הניף תנופת זהב לאדוני.
The men came with the woman. Everyone whose heart motivated him brought bracelets, nose rings, rings, body ornaments, all sorts of gold ornaments. Every man who raised up an offering of gold to Hashem.
Okay, what it mean, and the man came with the woman? Why is the Torah come to tell us, and the man came with the woman? That's part of the pasuk that I would like to focus on. So the Malbim, who was the Malbim? The Malbim was Rabbi Yechiel Michael Weiser. He born 215 years ago in Ukraine. And here he say, from here you can learn the value of the Jewish people, the Jewish woman. Why? He says something very interesting. He said when it came to give a donation to build the Mishkan, the woman and the man came together to give it. The woman was willingly giving their gold, their jewelry, what is so important to them. But if you look carefully, what's happened in the sin of the golden calf and Egel HaZahav? The woman didn't give. Didn't give no jewelry, no gold, nothing. That didn't was part of it. It's come to tell you here. It's come to praise the Jewish woman. That when it's come to give tzedakah for the Mishkan, a donation, they was the first one to give. They was more than willingly to give their own gold, their own jewelry, their own diamond. No problem. So here we see the quality of the Jewish woman. Other opinions say that here it say, but why is it say men? יבואו הגברים על הנשים. That means that the man came with the woman. Why so important? So here we see that the men learned the lesson. The Mefarshim say. The men saw that in Egel HaZahav they sinned. And they hear the woman taking on themselves those oaths that they're going to bring the gold and the jewelry. They come to make sure that they're going to give that. And why is that? Why is that? It's come to tell us that the woman agree. The men come to make sure that they keep the oaths, they keep the vow to give the jewelry, the gold, because usually women don't give their gold and their jewelry so quick. But when it's come to building of the Mishkan, they were more unwilling. We're going to move to verse 27. Verse 27, it tells us something very interesting. We have to look at it carefully, what it says. והנשיאים הביאו את אבני השוהם ואת אבני המילואים לאפוד ולחושן.
The leaders brought the shoham stones and the stones for the settings for the ephod and the breastplate.
Okay. Here the Torah tell us what the leaders referring to Nasi'im, it's each Nasi, a president or how would you say, the president of each tribe, or the prince of each tribe. They brought the shoham stone and the other stone to put in what do you call it, in the hoshen and the ephod, the breastplate. But it says something very interesting. If you read the word Nesi'im, the first word in that verse, something looks very strange. It's missing a yud. The letter yud is missing. It says Nesi'im without a yud. Well, how come? How come that it doesn't mention? So, Yonatan ben Oziel. Who was Yonatan ben Oziel? Yonatan ben Oziel, he was a student of Hillel HaZaken. Okay, and he said like this. He noticed that and he explained like this. It said that when they asked to bring a donation to the Mishkan, that means truma, to build the Mishkan, the Nesi'im said, the president or the important people of the Jewish tribe, the prince, say, let the Jewish people bring, and whatever going to be missing, we, as the important people, we're going to bring what's missing. That means whatever going to be missing, we'll take on ourselves, we're going to pay for it. We're going to give that. When they saw that, Jonathan ben Uziel say that when they saw that the Jewish people given, not only that given enough, they given more than enough. And Moshe Rabbeinu actually have to say Ganug. The first time and the last time that you see a Jewish people say Ganug, enough, for any donation, that was in the time of the building of the Mikdash, in the time of Moshe. They felt sad. HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't want to upset him, and didn't want to cause them embarrassment for those priests. So it said that what's happened, they said that Jonathan ben Uziel said that from Nahal Kishon, that was full with those beautiful stones, HaKadosh Baruch Hu make a miracle, and a wind came and took that beautiful stone to the desert. There is a different opinion. The Midrash doesn't explain, doesn't agree with that. The Midrash says something else. The Midrash say that when the prince of every tribe saw that, actually they felt very bad. They felt very embarrassed. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't want them to get embarrassed in front of the entire Jewish people. What has he done? When they got the manna, HaKadosh Baruch Hu make a miracle that each one of those important people got a special stone on the manna. So when they opened to eat the manna, they found those stones and they brought it to the Mishkan. They brought it to the Mishkan, not to get embarrassed. What is the Musar here? What does it come to teach us? So the Torah come to teach us here, number one, how important is it not to embarrass other people, number one. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even that it was for his own Mishkan, he didn't want to embarrass the important people. Not only that, it's come to teach us another Musar. It's come to teach us that when it's come to do something for holy, that means to do anything for holiness, to do with holiness, don't be lazy. That's exactly the word. Don't be lazy. Don't say tomorrow or the next day. Get up and do it now. When you do it right now, it will work beautifully. So the Torah come and teach us here two things. Number one, derech eretz. Number two, not to be lazy when it's come to do mitzvot. We're going to move to verse 30. Verse 30 in chapter 35 says something very interesting. The Torah here says to us something very interesting. The Torah tells us, ויאמר משה אל בני ישראל, ראו קרא אדוני בשם בצלאל בן אורי בן חור למטה יהודה.
Moses said to the children of Israel, See, Hashem has proclaimed by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah.
Okay. So the Torah here mentioned the entire family until the tribe where he come from, Bezalel. Why it's so important? The Torah come to tell us the entire Yehus. Yehus, it means the family tree of Bezalel. What does it come to tell us? It says like this: Bezalel ben Uri. Bezalel was the son of Uri, the son of Hur lemate Yehuda. We all know that when the Erev Rav created the golden calf, Hur stood and said to him, "Are you people crazy? What are you doing? You're creating idols. And if you create idols, it's one of the mitzvot that you just heard in Mount Sinai." They killed him. So whenever the Jewish people used to hear Hur, it actually used to hurt them. It's come to tell us, our sages say that it's come to tell us, Rabbi Meir Simcha Cohen Mitvink, He come to teach us in his book, Meshech Chochmah. By the way, he born 171 years ago. He says something very interesting. It's come to teach us something very important. It's come to teach us that who that given his life to stop the Jewish people from sinning, that mitzvah that he done didn't wipe off. It stood up for him. Not only that it stood up to who? To his grandson Bezalel. That when HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that the grandfather was willing to give his own life to try to stop the Erev Rav from creating the golden calf, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you, given your own life, I'm going to reward you with your grandson. That your grandson going to build the Mishkan. He's going to be the engineer, the master, the designer of all of that. He's going to do that. So from here we see the Torah come to teach us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu never forget anyone. HaKadosh Baruch Hu may be not going to reward you immediately, but he never forget. It's going to take a generation or two. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the end going to reward you. The Tzemach Tzedek. Who was the Tzemach Tzedek? I'm going to bring now another opinion of the Tzemach Tzedek. That's the late Admor from the Hasidut of Chabad, the Hasidut Chabad, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. He born 225 years ago, and he said like this. In his book Likutei Torah, he says something very interesting. From here we see that actually when it said that it's mentioned the entire heritage of Bezalel, okay, and who was his father, who was his grandfather, and which tribe that he come from, here it's come to teach us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgive the Jewish people actually from enjoying the mahshava that they have, the thought that we explained last week from Egel HaZahav. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgive the sin of Egel HaZahav. And how do we do that? That the Torah come and tell us by that the Torah come and mention the entire Yehus, the entire heritage of Bezalel, who he was, till the tribe that he came, to show that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them, even that I mentioned who that been killed, when he tried to stop building Egel HaZahav, creating Egel HaZahav, I forgive you. That's why it's mentioned the entire name and the dynasty of Bezalel. Rabbi Avraham Sabah, and in his book Tzror Amor, we explain who was Rabbi Avraham Sabah. He was the father-in-law of the Marana Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo. In his book Tzror Amor, he says something very interesting. He said from the word Re'u is see. So, he come to teach us that Moshe Rabbeinu said to the Jewish people, I want you to see, Re'u, the first word of that pasuk, it's a Re'u. How is it mentioned there, Re'u, the first word of this pasuk? In verse 30, Re'u, Moshe Rabbeinu said to the Jewish people, Vayomer Moshe el Bnei Israel, see. What it means, see? What there is to see? It said from that word that he said, it's come to teach us something very important. Rabbi Avraham Sabah bring completely a different explanation. See, what it means to see? It said that from here, that before we chose a rabbi for a community, a hazan for a community, or any other important member on a community, we obligated to ask the entire congregation. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot, Daf Nun Hey Amud Aleph, that's mean page 55, page 1, tell us that the word referring Re'u, that means see, that people, before you chose a rabbi, you must say to them, see, that's the rabbi that we want. That's the hazan that we want for us. And if the entire people agree with that, then you can put them. Then you can choose them. Then you can nominate them as the hazan, as the rabbi, whatever the story is. The Tashbetz says something completely different. He explained that differently. He said, from that titzeh re'u, you learn something, another thing. You learn that if the entire congregation chose a rabbi, and then nominate him, and everyone agree, if he make a mistake by saying about something that was kosher or non-kosher, and he make a mistake, he's not obligated to pay for it. Why? Because everyone chose for it. And you agree that he's going to be a rabbi. Therefore, if he say, for example, I'm going to bring an example what the Tashbetz mean. The Tashbetz say that if, for example, they shechten cow, and from 20 cow that they shechten, all the 20 was kosher. But the rabbi say one of them was not kosher, he's not obligated to pay for it. Why? Because the entire congregation agreed that he's going to be the rabbi, he's going to be the posek, therefore he's not obligated to pay. But he said that if it's the opposite, that people nominate him without asking the entire congregation and he make mistake, then he's obligated to pay. So from here we see, from that pasuk we can learn many things. Re'u, and then he mentioned the dynasty. We see how the Torah explains everything. We go to verse 31. Just after that come verse 31. וימלא אותו רוח אלוהים בחוכמה, בתבונה ובדעת ובכל מלאכה.
He filled him with godly spirit, with wisdom, insight, and knowledge, and with every craft.
Okay? The Torah here tells us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually given wisdom, craft, Chokhmah, Bina, V'Da'at. That's Rashi Tevot, Chabad. Chokhmah, Bina, Da'at, Chabad. So we have to understand why is the Torah come to tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu given to Bezalel, that's kind of a wisdom, that's kind of a spiritual way that he know how to build a Mishkan, how to do that. So the Torah come and tell us something very interesting. That because Bezalel, when he done everything, Kadosh Baruch Hu gave him a special wisdom. What it means, a special wisdom? That when people came to give the trumot, what it means trumot? The donation. It's come to tell us that certain people given it immediately from all their heart. These people that hear that people need, immediately they give a need. They don't ask questions. These people come and ask, what is it for? They want to know, and then they give. And there is other level of people that when they give, they hear what is it, okay, they're like making you a favor that they give. HaKadosh Baruch Hu given a special spiritual wisdom to Bezalel, that he know that those people that given it from the all of the heart, without asking any question, with that gold, with that silver, whatever they give, he created the most holy thing. Those people that ask question was less holy, and those that when they given it, they pull faces, so it was hard for them, he make it less holy. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Torah come to tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu given Bezalel a special wisdom. Why? That when he created those things, it's come to teach us that he knew exactly with which money, with which gold, he created the most holy things. That was the speciality of Bezalel. Other explanation there is, it's come to teach us that the Torah come to teach us something very interesting. Usually when you see a Talmid Chacham, a righteous man, a spiritual man, he know a lot about Torah, he's very involved with Torah and mitzvot, Yirat Shamayim, the fear of heaven, he's so pure, he doesn't have time to get involved with the physical world. Here the Torah come and tell us, although that Bezalel was such a spiritual level, and a high spiritual level, that was such a holy, it's come to teach us that even then, he was involved with the physical, with the building, with the creating of the Mishkan. That means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu given him such a hand, such a special gift, that to be a spiritual man, to be a wisdom, to be a righteous, and also to understand the physical thing in the world, how to create the Mishkan. We go to chapter 37, verse 1. Yeah, where's is it? Am I right? No. 37:1. Yes, 37:1. I skipped a bit. I'll go back. In that chapter, the Torah speak about here. Where is it? I need to find it. 37. Where is it? 37:1. Where is it? Okay, here's it. Yeah. 37:1, the Torah tells us, ויעש בצלאל את הארון עצי שיטים, 2.5 אורכו, 1.5 רוחבו, 1.5 קומתו.
Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits its length, 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height.
Okay, here the Torah come and tell us that Bezalel actually was the person that build the ark. Why no one else? That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm going to bring three opinions. I'm going to bring few opinions. I'm going to bring the opinion of Rashi. I'm going to bring the opinion of Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. And then I'm going to bring again the opinion of the Meshech Chochmah that we explained, Rabbi Yehiel Michal Weiser, and they all explain it differently. Rashi said that, I always speak about Rashi HaKadosh, I don't remember that I brought his history. Rashi, it's Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki. If we take the word Rashi, Resh, Rabbi, Shin, Shlomo, Yud, Yitzhaki. He born in north of France. He born plus minus 974 years ago, and he wrote the commentary on the Torah. We all know he wrote commentary on many of our on the written Torah and Torah Shebe'al Peh. That means the unwritten Torah, Torah Shebe'al Peh. Okay? And he explained here. By the way, before Rashi wrote this commentary on the Torah, I saw explanation that before he decided to write that, he fasts for 365 days. What it means to fast for 365 days? That means that during the day he used to fast, and during the night he used to eat. That's Rashi. That's not in our level, Rabotai. We mustn't try and do that. So he says something very interesting. He said that, why does it say like this? It says, ויעש בצלאל את הארון. Only Bezalel made the Aaron? Yes, only Bezalel made the Aaron, and I'm going to bring a history about it. So he said, why only Bezalel mentioned? Because he's given, I'm going to actually mention the word of Rashi, שמסר נפשו עליה. What it means, שמסר נפשו? That he given his entire soul to build the ark. So that's the reason that it says ויעש בצלאל and no one else. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim said that, who was Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim? We explained he was the son of the Rosh. The Rosh is Rabbi Asher ben Yehiel. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim born 745 years ago in Germany. And he said that the main reason that it say Vayas Betzalel et Aaron, that the only reason that it's mentioned Betzalel, because he knew the secret of the ark. That the secret of the ark was, listen to that, Rabotai, what he said, Keneged Kisei HaKavod, that the secret of the ark was equivalent to Kisei HaKavod. That they was parallel to each other in holiness. That's Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. The Meshech Chochmah, the book of Meshech Chochmah, we explained who's that, Rabbi Yehiel Michal Weiser. He says something very interesting. He says something completely different. He said that because was only one ark, no other ark been built. That ark been built in the Mishkan, during the time in the Mishkan. Then it moved to the first Bet HaMikdash, the second Bet HaMikdash. And after that, they hidden it. No one saw it. And because Bezalel knew about it, and he knew how to build it, all the other vessels, he said, but created by other members, not only by Bezalel. As the Torah tells us that he have a partner, that it say here in Oliav, that was with him. It wasn't only Bezalel, I don't remember where it's mentioned, but the ark been built only by Bezalel. So it's come to tell us, because there was only one ark, and only the secret of the ark been revealed to Bezalel by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what it said, Vayaz Bezalel et Aaron. Why? Because Bezalel was the one that created, erected, built it, done it, because he knew the secret of the Aaron. That's why it's mentioned only him. Not only that, it's come to tell us that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent the Mashiach to redeem us in a third, and he's going to build a third Bet HaMikdash that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will build it, going to bring it ready from heaven. He's going to reveal the ark. And who's going to reveal it? Bezalel, him himself. So I would like to bless all of us that may please God, we all going to see speedily in our day the building of the third Bet HaMikdash and the revealing of the ark speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon.